Hi, I'm Dan Largent, and today I'm going to read you an excerpt from my first book, Before We Ever Spoke. So I understand there's a new woman in your life. Can we meet her? Shane Aspen asked as the camera panned away, revealing Cara Knox seated next to Cooper Madison on the couch, holding his hand. In a matter of 5 hours, Todd T-Squared Taylor arranged for his young ESPN anchor client to arrive in Cleveland with a camera crew for the exclusive interview of his young career. The first few minutes of the interview revolved strictly around Coop, his move to Cleveland, and whether or not he would return to baseball for the last stretch of the season with the Cubs. Coop rolled out the ladder for now. Shane Aspen had been with the worldwide leader in sports for almost 5 years, mostly as a reporter and fill-in anchor. The network wanted to send one of their own veteran reporters out for this story, but Todd Taylor was calling the shots today, and his guy was about to get his big break. Yes, I certainly do, Shane. This is Cara Knox, and she's a native Clevelander, Coop said, just as he had rehearsed in his head multiple times. Cara, it's a pleasure to meet you. I understand that you and Coop met in an unusual way. Would you like to share? Shane prompted. Yeah, you can say it was definitely not how I ever anticipated meeting a guy, Cara responded. Not to mention a famous athlete, Shane interjected. Well, in reality, I had no idea who he was. I'm not a big baseball fan, and I actually had to look him up on the internet, Cara laughed, looking at Coop. It was a bit of a blow to the old ego, Shane, Coop chuckled. Are you serious? No clue? Shane asked incredulously. None. Zero. If I didn't know his name from the order slip, I wouldn't have even known what name to look up. Okay, let's backtrack here a second. What order slip? Shane led Cara just as they had discussed he would. Well, in addition to attending Cleveland State University, I also work for a restaurant called Stuckey's Place as a delivery driver. Earlier last week, this guy ordered some food and I delivered it to him. And you really had no idea who he was? Nope. I just thought he was some kind of eccentric rich guy living in a penthouse. Why did you think that? Well, because he never opened the door for me to see him. Coop, is this true? Sadly, yes. Since I moved to Cleveland, I've really tried to keep a low profile. I've had a rough year, to be honest, and I was really just trying to escape, well, everything. You know, to regroup, I guess. So, Cara, if he never opened the door, how'd you two meet? Well, he ordered from Stuckey's again on Friday, Cara answered. The food must be really good at Stuckey's, Coop. Yeah, it really is, Shane. You need to stop there whenever you're in town, Coop replied, making good on his promise to Cara that he'd throw Stuckey a bone. So, did you open the door for her this time, Coop? Shane asked. Coop replayed the scene from Friday where he slipped and fell while running to get the door when Cara arrived with his order. Cara interjected her point of view, and Shane made sure to throw in little quips and questions to help tie the whole thing together. The couple then relayed their versions of Friday night and Saturday. Coop's seafood boil, the car ride around town, and the ill-fated fishing trip on Saturday. And even Gabby's party. So in reality, this relationship is only a few days old, but it certainly sounds like it's been a whirlwind few days at that, Shane continued. I say that only because of what happened after the CMZ story broke. Next, Shane referenced the original CMZ story and subsequent follow-up article that her ex-boyfriend Kenny had peddled. Shane did his best to discredit Kenny as a jealous ex looking for his 15 minutes of fame, and even provided Cara with a chance to speak about the betrayal she felt from him. I really feel bad for Kenny, despite the fact he did this, Cara said. He's obviously struggling with the reality that he's been in college longer than most doctors, failed as a college basketball player, and has let partying get the best of him. That's why I broke up with him a long, long time ago. I worry about his health and safety, Shane. He has a lot of issues, and I find it sad and pathetic that he decided to take those issues out on me. Certainly seems to be that way, and I can only imagine it's taken a toll on you, Shane agreed. I feel something awful about it, to be honest, Coop said. How so? Shane asked. Well, because she didn't ask for any of this attention, and since she's met me, she's had her entire life opened up for examination. It's new for me in a way, too. I've always seemed to date other people who were either already in the public eye or at least desperately trying to be. I've never had to worry about protecting someone from it, and I feel like I failed her right from the start. For the record, I do not feel that way, Cara said, looking straight at Coop. I don't know how you don't, Coop replied, looking into her eyes. The two seemed to forget that they were being interviewed. Shane, sensing this, wisely nodded to his crew to keep rolling. Because I'm the one who insisted on you leaving your comfort zone, and for whatever reason you did. Because I wanted to go fishing. A girl you just met, you threw months away of carefully planned solitude and privacy just to take me fishing. Cara's last sentence was barely audible as her eyes began to well up. The only thing that you made me do was realize I wanted to take you anywhere you wanted to go. I didn't feel like I was throwing anything away, Coop responded. I just feel like I've complicated what was a blissfully uncomplicated existence for you, Cara replied as a tear made its way down her cheek. I don't think you realize yet just how much I want to know you, all of you, even if it is complicated. The two kissed, their lips slowly pressed together as Coop's hand gently lifted Cara's chin up. Shane Aspen waited a few seconds and then signaled for the crew to cut, and that snapped the couple out of their trance. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Cara immediately turned red and felt embarrassed. Please don't be, Shane responded. You two have no idea how amazing that was. If I hadn't already gone over the entire interview with you beforehand, I would have assumed you had scripted that last part. But you can't script that stuff. That was raw emotion. I have a feeling that I just interviewed America's newest sweethearts. Listen, we have some exterior shots to get, and then we will send Todd the final edit by tomorrow morning for approval. The network is planning on airing this tomorrow night in a primetime special during SportsCenter, okay? America's newest sweethearts? Cara asked, sounding like the words were poison in her mouth. Yeah, that's not what we were going for, Shane, Coop agreed. Listen, even if we cut that last part out, America's just going to eat you two up. You guys are like a living, breathing Julia Roberts movie. Unfortunately, while it might not be what you want, it's what you're going to get. Might as well embrace it. Life could be worse, Shane replied.